Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another Monday mix. Today we have the 25th of November, but before we get into today's episode, the channel itself hit a very big milestone over the weekend, finally reaching that 1000 subscriber mark, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you that has actually subscribed to the channel over the 4 and a bit years it's been running. I think we started way back on the 10th of March 2020, but also I'd like to give a big shout out to Paul from Coin Patrol, who gave me a couple of shout outs on his most recent penny hunt videos, and a lot of people has actually come across to the channel and subscribed, and hopefully they will all stick around to see what actually goes on with regards to decimal hunts rather than the pre-decimal hunts. Now I am planning at some point to do a 1000 subscriber giveaway. It will probably some form of silver coin, I would think, but I want to see how the subscriber count goes for maybe a good few weeks, maybe till the end of the year, and then we'll sort of kick on with the giveaway. So let's kick off with today's episode. Things I've received in the post. This is the first thing, which I got from Change Checker, Westminster Collections. A lot of the usual bump in here, Christmas stuff. Have a quick look at that in a second. And what we got here? Oh, this is the James Bond completer £5 coin. Now I did show you this in last week's episode. With all the different vehicles that's been used in the films since the 60s up until the 2010s. So we did already go through that. We've got a trading card, so we'll quickly scribble that off just to see what we have. I'll just do the first bit here. Oh, we've got a football, 1996. There we go. I haven't done all of it, but that's the 1996 Euro Championships. It was held in England. And what we've got here, new Harry Potter Black Lake, which we've already got. Not interested in that. Some other Christmas goodies, and one of these will be coming up in a second. Another thing from Change Checker. Now this one I was a bit disappointed with, because there's no trading card with it. But I've got the set now. So we've got the Celadonta Woolly Rhinoceros. And as per the rhinos that you see in the zoos, etc., these horns here are made of some sort of congealed hair and sort of things that you have on fingernails, keratin or something like that. So I think this was design was done by Robert Nichols and Charles III portrait. Now this one obviously will be coming out of the card again. We've got that crease up the top here, which I'm not very happy with. Next thing we've got is something from the Royal Mint, and this is actually the coloured version of the Celadonta Woolly Rhinoceros. So I've signed up to get all 3 of these. I don't know whether you get sort of a little box to put them all in at the end. However, when I was trying to open it to see what was inside, I put an absolute big hole in it. I think it's the type of packaging, because it seems very flimsy. I think Christopher Collects reckons it's some sort of recycled stuff. Right, so let's have a quick look inside. So giants roam the earth. You can pause and read that at your leisure. I think I read somewhere that they can actually withstand temperatures of up to, is it something like -60 or something? Oh, it's actually on the other side. Eh? There it is. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Temperatures up to date here has been in the minus figures. A bit on the bottom there, something about the designer, Robert Nichols. You see, you can pause and read that at your leisure. And then we've got the coin specs on the back. Limited presentation, 10,000. So it's pretty low minted, but I quite like these coloured dinosaur coins. Right, last but not least, I've got a couple of items again from Royal Mint. Now I did send away for another 2024 coin set. Just the definitives, because I need it for a date run, because it's unlikely any of these might be put into circulation. Bearing in mind that the 2p and the £2 from last year, none were minted, and most of the others, apart from the 5p, have got very low mintages indeed. So that's for the 2023. So I don't know what's going to happen with 2024. Might as well open this because I will be opening the pack at some point. Hopefully it's a little bit stronger than the one that had the woolly rhinoceros in it. There we go. So I've seen all the designs before. The hazel dormouse, the red squirrel. A lot of people were upset that this wasn't put into circulation. I think that would have been a very good one to have. And I've got 5p there with the oak leaves and acorns, the capercaillie on the 10p, puffin on the 20p, Atlantic salmon, the bees and the flowers of the nation. And of course they've all got the 2024 dated obverse. So I've already gone through that in the past, but as well as that, finally it turned up. I didn't expect it to receive it so quick. So this is the coloured snowman. I've already shown you the Cooper nickel version a few weeks ago, and I really like this design, especially in colour. Really stands out. As you can see, it's not the one that you can get with the greetings card. And I'll have a quick shufty at this one as well while we're on. So I think this design, we'll have a look at the back for Robin Shaw. I think he worked on the film, right in thinking. So again, you can pause and read that at your leisure. Christmas tradition. I think it gets shown just about every single year now, as well as the Polar Express. And of course we're coming up to that time again. So I'm pleased I got this in time, because the way things were going, I wasn't going to be getting it until sort of late on in December. And I did send an email to them asking them what was happening. So very nice, I'll put that down there. What we'll do now is we'll move on to what happened on this day. Well, three things I've actually come up with for today's episode is three notable deaths that has happened over the previous years. On the 25th of November 2022, the singer and actress Irene Cara, who also starred in the film Fame in 1980, died. She also sang the film's theme tune as well, which didn't actually hit #1 in the UK charts until July 1982. But she also sang the song Flashdance, What a Feeling, but that only reached #9 in the UK charts. Now, the single for that Flashdance was actually released in March '83, a month before the film's general release. There was two notable brilliant ex-footballers that actually passed away as well on the 25th of November. In 2020, the Argentinian footballer Diego Maradona passed away. Obviously, he can be remembered for that hand of God goal against England in the 1986 World Cup quarter-final. But he did go on to score a memorable second, slaloming his way from just inside his own half, past a mesmerised England defence before slotting it easily past the goalkeeper, Peter Shilton. But he was actually suspended twice for drug offences during his career, and one was actually partway through the 1994 World Cup when he tested positive for ephedrine. And the other notable footballer that passed away on 25th of November 2005 was the ex-Manchester United player George Best. He made 474 appearances for Manchester United, scoring a total of 181 goals in all competitions. Obviously, he can be remembered for that second goal in the 1968 European Cup final at Wembley, when he slalom past the goalkeeper. And I can always remember when the ball hit the net and then you saw the goalkeeper come flying in at an angle trying to stop it when it was already in the goal. He was also part of the United Trinity of Bobby Charlton and Dennis Law, and a statue of which is actually just outside Old Trafford. He also scored a double hat-trick against Northampton in February 1970 in an 8-2 FA Cup fifth round win. Unfortunately, Manchester United, I think they went on to lose against, I think it was Leeds United in the semi-final. Now, the #1 song at the time, we're going to go way back to 1955 for this one, with Americans Bill Haley and his Comets with Rock Around the Clock. And that ties in quite nicely with the next bit. Not exactly rocking around the clock, rather 12 hours of it. On the 21st of December, don't forget, we've got the Christmas Carol Challenge, where we've finally got 12 entries to the competition. Now, as you can see on the screen, two of the entries is one is M Collector's Mrs. M Collects, and the other one is my two daughters, Emma and Sarah, who are actually going to be taking part as well. Now, they have actually paid the entrance fee, etc., but I did say to Em, and there was a bit of a discussion about this, I said I don't think it's really going to be fair having two entries from the same household, because obviously there is only just going to be that one prize of the Christmas Robin, the Guernsey Christmas Robin from 2022. Now, one viewer will actually win one of those, along with a set of the signed bunnies from each of the competitors. And also the competitor with the highest score will also win a set of signed bunnies from the other competitors. And there will also be a separate draw for another Christmas Robin. And this is where I said it may be slightly unfair, because, for instance, if my daughters win, I know they're not really sort of coin collectors as such and probably come back to me anyway. So we'll sort of cross that bridge when we come to it. But as you can see, we've got M Collects kicking off at 9 a.m. in the morning, and then myself at 10, and then that follows Sunderland Coin Hunt, the Coin Collector, welcome to him, RJ Coins, Northeast Coins, Gona Collects, and then of course Emma and Sarah at 4, Two Coin Affairs at 5, Aldershot Coin Club at 6, Mrs M Collects at 7, and finally we've got Doodle McDoo, so a welcome to him as well. So let battle commence, as they say. So I'm just going to do a quick whiz on the camera, and then we'll move on to the final bit. Now, I was asked a question in one of the comments fairly recently about what size flips I should use for pre-decimals, because the videos that they had watched, none of them had actually used flips for pre-decimals. And I must admit, I'm exactly the same. None of my pre-decimals are in flips, and I think you'll probably have the pre-decimal Coin King Coin Patrol coming down in here like a ton of bricks if he heard they were putting pre-decimals in flips. So anyway, what I do tend to use is flips for the decimal stuff and also for my world coins. Now I get all my flips from eBay from a company called Coin Gallery, or you can search Andy_Jack. These are all part of the same. You do get free postage on them. I mean, it depends on how many you go for. I think you can start off with as little as 25. Some I get in 50s. Sometimes I get them in hundreds. You can also get 5 of the flip pages, which actually fit these. So 50mm by 50mm, or 2 by 2 inches if you want to call it that. And you get 5 pages and 100 of the flips of the size you want. Sometimes it works out cheaper than getting them individually. But 17.5 is the smallest one that I've got. The next size up I've got is a 20, then 22.5, 25, 27.5, 30, which I'm going to need to get a few more because I haven't got very many left in that bag. 32.5, 35mm, and for the diehards there we've got 39.5mm. Absolutely huge. Now I used to put all my crowns in those, but I'd noticed that over time they'd start to split down the side because the coins were that thick. They were actually pulling the adhesive apart. Now I've seen some people have large style flips, could be either that one or the 35, and they're putting absolutely titchy coins in, and the coins tend to move all over the place. Now I'd like to keep the sort of smaller sizes for the smaller coins and so on. And these are, as I mentioned, these are self-adhesive ones. You can get ones without the adhesive on, which you can staple shut. I don't like those because technically you've still got sort of gaps around the side. I mean, some people staple them in sort of 4 corners, but I still think it allows the air to get in. But anyway, for the decimals, the half pences, let's say the old half pences, 17.14mm they are in size, so I would use a 20mm size flip for those. For pennies, the 20.3mm wide, and I would use a 22.5mm for those. For 2 pences, the size of that is 25.9, and I would use a 27.5mm for those. Now 5 pences, you've got 2 types. You've got the old larger size, which were 23.59mm, and I would use a 25mm flip for those. For the smaller size, which are only 18mm, I would just use the 20mm. The 10 pences, the old style, they measure 28.5mm in diameter, and I would use a 30mm for those. Whereas the smaller size 10 pences, they're 24.5mm, and I would use probably a 25mm to 27.5mm for those. 20 pences, they measure 21.4mm in diameter, and I would use a 22.5mm flip for those. 50 pences, now again there's 2 types, the old style, which are 30mm wide, so I would use a 32.5 flip for those because they are slightly wider, whereas the new style 50 pences, which are 27.3mm, I would use the 30mm. Now I also use the 30mm for £2 coins, but a lot of people use the 32.5 for those. For £1 coins, the old style round pounds, which were 22.5mm in diameter, I use a 25mm flip, and also with the new 12-sided coins, 23.4mm, again I use a 25mm flip. And going back to the £2 coins, the old style, all brass ones, 28.4mm wide, which normally are about 3.3mm thick, which are thicker than the £2 coins we have today. I would use a 30mm, or like I said, 32.5mm if you want to do it that way. And the bimetallic I've already mentioned, but that's a thickness size of only 2.5mm, so 30, I said I use 32.5. But getting on to the pre-decimals, just going to move these out of the way a bit. Now going back to the pre-decimals, if you do want to put your coins in flips, this is what I would suggest. So we'll start off with the beloved farthing. So this has a diameter of 20mm. So if you bring in the 20mm flip, you can actually try it first, but as you can see, that's going to be absolutely no good at all. So 22.5 would be the best size for those. As you can see, just fits in just nice. Moving on to the halfpenny or halfpenny. So this one has a diameter of 26mm. I've seen some 25.5mm to 25.4mm, but again, you're probably looking at a flip size of about 27.5. So as you can see, that would actually fit in quite nicely into a 27.5mm. The pennies. This is a 1911. Unfortunately, it's not a Gobi X. But the 1911 pennies, now this had a diameter of 30.8mm. Thickness size is 1.6mm. So would probably not be going for a 30mm because it's going to be smaller than the coin. So in that case, the 32.5mm would probably be the best size for those. As you can see, you can just try it in its little aperture first before you actually decide what you want to do, but that's what I would do if I was going to be that. Now this one here, the threepence joy or threepenny bit, this, believe it or not, is the thickest coin out of all the pre-decimals. It's even thicker than the half crown. But this had a diameter of 21.8mm. The thickness is 2.6. So going by that 21.8, you'd probably be reckoning around about 22.5 maybe. So 22.5 is sort of a bit of a tight squeeze. Let's try a 25. 25 will probably be better, bearing in mind the thickness of the coin because it is going to expand a bit. So maybe a 25mm for those. The sixpence. Or the tanner. So this one had a diameter of 19.3mm. That's in the silver size, so you're probably looking around about the same size. It's got 1mm in thickness. So let's try a 20mm first. So bring in the 20s again. Again, it's going to be a nice fit. I wouldn't say you shouldn't use that one, but let's try 22.5, see if that's any better. Yeah, 22.5 maybe, but like I say, at a push you could probably use that 20mm. It's going to be a bit of a snug fit, and because the coin isn't very thick, it shouldn't expand too much. And we'll still give a good showing to the coin. Next we'll move on to the old bob, the one shilling. Got one here from 1963 and I nearly had it upside down. So it's the 3 lines passant. Now as you can see again, thickness size for that is about 1.5mm to 1.73, depending on the type of metal, whether it's silver or not. So this is about 23.5mm wide, so you're probably looking for that one at a 25mm. Yeah, 25mm, that would fit ideally for that one. 2 more to go. The 2 bob, 2 shilling, florin. Got the crown on the top first. So this one has a size of about 28.5mm and the thickness 2.1 to 2.25mm, again depending whether it's silver or not. So that one I would say would probably be a 30mm one. Yeah. And last but not least, I've got a rather holy half crown. So obviously somebody's had this maybe on a chain of some description. So the half crown is about 32.3mm wide, 2.2 to 2.3 thickness. Now if I just bring in the threepenny bit again, you can see that the threepenny bit is definitely a lot thicker than the half crown. So let's think, 32.3, so a 32.5 is going to be sort of pushing it a bit, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a bit snug for that one. So I would probably say a 35mm for your half crowns. There we go, folks. So that's just flip sizes for you, just to give you some insight. By the way, if you're wanting to use a flip for a silver threepence, they had a size of 16mm, a thickness of 0.95mm, and probably a 17.5 would fit for that one. Like I say, it's not a be all and end all, it's just what I would do. Everybody is different. Some people, like I say, have just one size flip for every single coin, but I do find that if you've got a large size flip and a titchy coin, it's just going to be sliding about all over the place. So anyway, that ends the programme for today. We'll see you again on Wednesday for another 50p coin hunt, but in the meantime, thank you for watching, and until the next time, keep on hunting, enjoy yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.